welcome into another episode of Dropkick Basement. This is Mike Madden on my side of things. Tommy Schultz, thank you for joining us, my tag team partner on the other side. Tom, it's a somber day.
Somber. We're in 2026, and we're putting one of our favorite factions to rest.
Yes. We're some good brothers have decided that they've taken their last ride. Decided, or the industry's decided that this is their last ride.
It's about time.
So this is a very special episode in the month of January, and we are hosting a funeral for the Bullet Club, a memoriam of the Bullet Club, maybe we could call it, or even a celebration of the Bullet Club. As just this past month, there has been a decision to disband the team. Whoever was still out there, and we'll get to those names, but whoever was still out there under the Bullet Club umbrella, the last shots have been wrung out for you boys. So yeah, this is certainly a somber episode, so to speak, but also a good chance to review a good amount of. We can promise that we're going to touch on everybody, but we can't say that we're going to rank everybody.
No,
we're not giving everybody a tier rank, but we're going to go through probably the most important and memorable members of a very big faction in pro wrestling since 2013, and it's been touched on elsewhere in pro wrestling media. So we're obviously not the first ones to sort of like wave goodbye to the Bullet Club boys and that faction in New Japan or whatever other promotions they were still affiliated with. But we'll certainly give them our own just desserts, so to speak, and their send off, Dropkick Basement style. So black armbands on for
10-bell salute
for the good brothers. Let's get the 10-bell salutes ready. We're gonna do obviously tier ranking style. So S tier is the top. A, B, C, D, and F for the rest. And this is based on a lot of factors. Gut reaction when you hear the person's name, and their actual contributions to Bullet Club is really more important. Like, I think there's a lot of like very interesting and people that rode the tide with the Bullet Club through the 2000s or the 2010s and the 2020s, that certainly had more success elsewhere, and we'll touch upon those occasionally. But if they made an impact and they were an important part of Bullet Club, obviously they're gonna rise to the top on this one. So let's start taking it apart. All right,
let's go.
Okay, we're gonna start. First guy is the establisher, the originator of Bullet Club, Prince Devitt.
I mean, I don't know if there's a higher tier. Is there?
And because of him being the first of the first, I think, yeah, he's a high A S tier guy. Here's my gripe with Devitt and the notes that I have in here. Obviously, OG, he had the unique entrances coming out on Bad Luck Fale's shoulders, which was always great. The light up jacket before Jericho stole that idea. The paint before anybody else was doing anything like that, as far as like a full body paint or, some sort of a unique and staged entrance like that. Certainly was ahead of his time when it came to the theatrics of it. But my gripe, though, he only wrestled junior heavyweight.
Okay.
During his time there. He never. A lot of these other guys, we're going to touch on this. There's a lot of guys that floated from the juniors to heavyweight because of their association with Bullet Club. So like this is the faction to be in. It was the coolest. It was the most Western in its reach. But I think like if Devitt was there for maybe another year, he probably could have had a chance to be double S tier or like, and maybe he wouldn't have gotten the chance to go to WWE at that time, and he would have, unfortunately, he may have floundered after a while in New Japan. So I think he hit his peak for his exposure. So I'll agree. We're gonna put
I would say the A.
Prince Devitt is an S tier guy for sure. All right. Bad luck.
I mean, he was
was
kind of the first real like leader.
Oh yeah, and that's
so. I mean,
that's important.
Yeah, and that's where the popularization of the Bullet Club came into play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good call. He had it was. I mean, we'll also get around to this as we get more guys that we're going to discuss, but I think the backstage antics is one thing that kind of started with him. You know, they were doing some backstage antics in New Japan press conferences, like here and there. That was more of a thing that like you would see with FMW or you would see with some of the indie promotions or the smaller promotions that came and went in the 2000s, but it was really co-opted by New Japan at the time that the Bullet Club guys were doing all of the, they would attack reporters backstage and they would do the hand gestures and whatever innovation or throwback that they wanted to do. So I think that gives him also a ton of credit because he was creative enough on the spot to come up with a lot of that stuff. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let's give Devitt his flowers. He's the NS tier guy. Let's move on to the underboss, another original Bullet Club member from day one. Bad Luck Fale, the big man from New Zealand, Samoan, Tongan. He's a Tongan who lives most of his life in New Zealand. I hear your size. I just want to point out, though, possibly the longest tenured Bullet Club guy.
For sure.
Day one, and then he was there until June of 2025.
Oh, man. I am not a fan of Bad Luck Fale.
Okay.
First of all, terrible name. Terrible.
I think that might be the coolest thing about him is...
when a lot of people make the comparison of the Bullet Club to the NWO, right?
Sure. Yep.
When I think of Bad Luck Fale, I think of Scott Norton in the NWO.
Oh,
and not to put not to throw shade at Scott Norton.
Never. Because he'll throw you through a window. He'll throw you through that shade.
Flash is one of my faves.
Yeah.
But he was just I guess you could say he's like the enforcer of the NWO. He was like the big guy at the time.
Yeah.
But it just never clicked. I don't know. I don't like Bad Luck Fale.
Okay.
I understand that he's a founding member. I understand that he's been there a long time, but I can't give him anything higher than a C.
I will say a C. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's what I had written as a grade to begin with. You can't drop him to a D or an F. I mean, if you're just looking at his work, you could say he never figured it out how to
No.
Even in that country where they treat big men like precious babies and they're always over, a tall, big, giant, jacked up guy like that. He just never really, he's the master of the multi-man match. And I think it's better off that we leave him at a C tier.
Yeah. There's not too much to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't tell
What's
you.
your favorite Bad Luck Fale match?
I was just going to ask you that question.
Right. Yeah.
I was just going to ask you
Yeah.
that question,
Yeah.
and the answer is none of them.
Probably a Wrestle Kingdom a Wrestle Kingdom Rambo is it's probably as deep as you can get.
Yeah.
Next guy up, the bad boy, Tama Tonga, an OG. Was there until February of 2022. Tag team specialist, kind of an intimidating wild card. We'll say that was his role in the Bullet Club.
He's the better half of the team. He's got a lot of charisma. I just think like he fit the group well with the look and everything like that. I've just never been crazy about him.
Okay.
In the ring.
Yeah.
But I do think his character does fit the group well, and I think that they were kind of like the first of the tag teams.
Yeah.
Of the Bullet Club. Not the most popular, but the first. So you got to give him, a little bit of credit there too. B, I would say a solid B.
Oh, a solid B. Yeah, I think a solid B works in this case. He has and never will be as interesting anywhere else he goes other than when he was with Bullet Club.
Yeah.
He's got very much a and this is his maybe his cousin or his uncle. He has a lot of Tama from the Islanders, the Tonga Kid, Samoan Savage, whatever you want to call him. Like he's got a lot of those eccentricities. You could tell in his promo styles, he's very much influenced by what Tama was doing when Tama was teamed with Tama Tonga's adopted father, Haku. So you have a lot of those, like, I get those vibes when I see Tama Tonga perform, especially when he's cutting promos, and when he's not cutting promos that are scripted, which is his better, that's his better arc to begin with, is just let the guy free flow, and like he'll make faces, he'll do hoots, he'll do all this other stuff that draws you in, which again, an enhanced when Bullet Club within the first 2 years, you're looking at the faces and you're like, I remember that guy from somewhere. I remember that guy. Obviously, you had big names in there, but then you were like, who's the wild man in the back?
Yeah.
And it's like, then you start to realize, and you're like, actually, he's a good in-ring wrestler, and he can work. And so I always give him credit for that Bullet Club presence that he had. So he's a comfortable B. Can't be anything higher than that because he was really never. I mean, I think he was in a G1 one year, and they kind of laughed him out of the building, and that was the year the Bullet Club was like interfering in everything. So that wasn't a good pairing for him as a singles guy. So Tama Tonga, we're going to give him a B. The other, the fourth member of the OG original Bullet Club, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, 2 stints in the Bullet Club, technically. May of 2013 through February of 2016. They came back around in May of 2021 and were affiliated until early 2023 when they went back to WWE again. Carl Anderson, I'm going to say this, probably, I don't think anybody loved being in Bullet Club, and we're going to have a lot of people that we're going to highlight if they loved being in Bullet Club. I don't think anybody loved being in Bullet Club more than Carl Anderson.
Absolutely not.
He thrived in that environment. He was like he always worked with the leader well, and he was still like a mouthpiece that could enhance what anybody was, whatever point across was coming across. Great tag team wrestler, very competent singles wrestler. I really wish that he got a bigger push as a singles wrestler, and it was kind of like hit or miss on and off, where they would give him something to do or give him a mid-card title, the never open weight belt. But I'm giving Carl Anderson an S tier.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's who I think of when I think of the Bullet Club.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Is Machine Gun. And I feel like this role really propelled him into like superstardom.
Mm-hmm.
Where like before he was just kind of like a mid-card guy, never really had all that much personality or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then this role was his breakout, and I mean he's still running with it to this day.
Yeah, exactly. He could show personality in unique ways. He was a cool heel, which is, again, we look back and we think about like the comparison to the NWO. He's a cool heel. He's one of the first ones that wants to throw up the two sweets and do, talk about brothers and all the other stuff. Like, I get a kick out of Carl Anderson. So yeah, justifiable S tier. There's 3 names real fast. None of them are going to get graded because they were in Bullet Club for no time at all, but I guess they worked some CMLL dates. So we have El Terrible, Ray Bucanero, female manager La Comandante, who was a valet or manager for them. Not worth digging into those folks because they basically had a cup of coffee with Bullet Club and probably for some sort of a multi-man match or an angle that they were doing in other companies. The first expansion of Beyond the Originals were in the latter part of 2013. Junior Tag Team Champion that came in, Matt and Nick, famously introduced by Prince Devitt as Matt and Nick Buck, the Young Bucks. But yeah, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. We're gonna pair them together as a team.
Yeah,
because they never had singles matches at Bullet Club guys, but they were always together. 5 years in Bullet Club, almost to the day of when they joined up. I think the same thing that we said about Carl Anderson, you say about the Young Bucks. It's synonymous in getting them over on an international level, and nobody took that brand, that T-shirt, that logo, and did more with it than the Young Bucks. The boom of, and I really do, I consider it a boom period, right around, started in, 2014 until about 2018, where that indie scene and that international scene, Ring of Honor, everything was, there was a buzz around it. You're seeing these T-shirts in, not only Pro Wrestling Tees was exploding at the time, but you're seeing these T-shirts in Hot Topic. You're seeing these T-shirts at WWE shows, I should say. You're seeing them in the wild, at bars, at concerts. It doesn't get there without the Bucks being relentless marketers and weirdly two of the most business savvy Californians of all time. And that's before you even talk about show stealing matches on the junior circuit with Rocky Romero and Alex Kozlov, with Red Dragon, with a ton of junior tag teams that were Kushida and whoever Kushida's partner was in that junior division. Eventually, they leveled up briefly to the heavyweight division to win the IWGP titles once, but shit, they were the ones that brought Bullet Club to the United States in a big way and made it cool. They had other partners in crime, but they certainly made it a brand. I'm giving them an S tier. I hope you're not disagreeing.
Yeah, I mean, well, at that time, they were the biggest indie act in the United States. So to join that in Japan just elevated them to another level. And this is kind of around. This also elevated New Japan because this is around the time that the Wrestle Kingdom brand really started to take off here.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think that their contribution to the group is even bigger outside of the ring than it is inside the ring, personally.
Yeah.
I think that they are almost solely responsible for the merchandise boom that the group wound up having.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And in general, that independent wrestling had before AEW came around, where, again, it wasn't just them. It was, so many other, like, Ring of Honor talent or, PWG talent or whatever.
Yeah.
Whoever, like, Cabana was probably the one who started the deals, but before Kevin Owens went up to WWE, or some of the other guys that ended up going there that were selling their merch and their shirts on the Pro Wrestling Tees website, or buying all these shirts or bringing them to shows and having like crowd go nuts for them and buying them at the merch tables. So yeah, I mean, they're, like I said, they may be the world's greatest marketers and DIY marketers that the pro wrestling business has ever had. And that's no hyperbole. So we're going to keep them in the S tier.
I mean, they were indie guys making 7 figures without a deal.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
On their own.
Yeah.
So.
Next guy, Doc Gallows. Tag team partner with Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers, a.k.a. Gallows and Gunn. Same 2 stints, was just riding with Carl, up and down, back and forth the whole time. Tag team specialist. Again, I think a lot like Fale, where there wasn't opportunities for him to go single, and he was not the type of worker who, in the work rate world or the strong style world, would have done anything to get himself over. Probably could have been a throwback. Would have been great to see him like in 1989 All Japan.
Yeah.
He would have been a hoot in FMW or Wing. But what would you give Doc Gallows?
So he has the Bad Luck Fale comparison is interesting because he has the one thing that could have made Fale interesting whatsoever, and that's charisma.
Yeah.
Like, you're not watching a New Japan show and ever coming away and be like, I remember that great match that Gallows had.
Yeah.
But when you see him and Anderson together,
right,
he's an imposing figure with a ton of charisma, and these guys that are, again, cool heels.
Yeah.
He was kind of like the bootleg Kevin Nash to
Certainly.
the NWO. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you're never going to come away from a Kevin Nash match and be like, man,
5 stars.
barn burner. But you fucking remember.
Yeah.
You remember seeing him, and you remember the promos that he cut. So, with that being said, I don't think you could go lower than a B with him.
Okay.
Because I would put him. Sure, Tamatanga is better in the ring than Gallows is, but I feel like they're kind of like even in terms of like the importance of the group itself.
The only the edge that I give Gallows is that he got his tag team with Anderson was the established heavyweight IW. They were the ones that were trading the IWGP tag belts with any like big teams that they were bringing up at the time. They were the ones that were semi-main event most of the shows. So, plus also, like, say what you will about Gallows as far as an in-ring competitor, as far as a tag team guy, he's a great hot tag. He's a great, like, if he's working heel, he's a great like keep you in the corner, beat you down, tough guy, intimidator, big man style, and it allows Anderson to get the showcase and do a little bit more fast paced working. So that's for a run there. Just until they got signed with WWE, like I think Anderson and Gallows were in a conversation for the best tag team in the world at one point. So we'll lay him in the B.
And you know what I do find interesting in that time frame, how they weren't really like showcased anywhere in the United States as much.
Well, they did the same tours of those stints with Ring of Honor. They did a few. I remember Jeff Jarrett was booting up that Global Force Wrestling. He was on a few of those Global Force Wrestling cards, and they were Bullet Club on those cards because he wanted to siphon off some of the juice that he could get with that. But yeah, I mean, they weren't the Indies weren't built in a way that they are now, where you could have had. They were like, hey, we have an affiliation. Our contracts are with New Japan. Their affiliates are of Ring of Honor. Anything else we would have to get serious permission for.
That's true.
And it's not worth it. The rest of our time can be spent getting drunk in Roppongi. Let's just get drunk in Roppongi when we don't have, a weekend's worth of matches instead of flying to, Halifax, Nova Scotia to do like a shot.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, that's what their living is now. Like they're kind of the dog and pony show, and they're probably doing well as fly-ins, but they're doing well on fly-ins because of the equity that they built up over the last 10 or so years, 15 or so years, being one of the best and most entertaining tag teams on the planet. So Gallows will get a B. We roll into the first leader change. Devitt's going to NXT, and AJ Styles comes in April of 2014. He's there for about 2 years. He's the second leader of the Bullet Club. He's the first IWGP heavyweight champion that's in their stable. That's an important thing. AJ Styles for me is an S tier.
I was between S and A only because I mean I love the way that they always did the change of guards in the Bullet Club. Right. When someone was on their way out. I didn't think that this was like the most impactful one. If
that makes sense.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the next one probably was. But I mean, you can't really hate on anything AJ Styles does. And this reinvented him.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, he was fucking just withering away in TNA, and this got him. He was the hottest free agent in the world, and I mean, the fact that he chose to go to New Japan and do something different, kind of changed how New Japan worked for a while. Like that was the place to go.
It was an option,
discovered.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like that. It finally became like a viable, I guess you would say, option C.
Oh, like a main event guy could say like, "Hey, I'm not like." You always had it as an option or a place to go for if you were honing your craft and you were like, "Hey, I didn't make it in WWE. TNA isn't using me. Like, let me go just." And maybe this was AJ's stance on it, was like, I'll go reinvent myself.
Yeah.
I'll get affiliated with these guys. I'll do a little bit of cool heel shit. And when I get back, like I'll be able to, pick the place that I want to work at. The thing though is like and I think he diminished the fact that he still had main event cachet even though TNA was stuffing him in a box.
Yeah.
And he was one of the first guys that like just got immediately like carved up at when Hogan came in.
Oh yeah.
He was just, he was used at the beginning, and then it was like, well, where did AJ Styles go? He's like the fifth guy in like some big giant faction, and it's like
he was the TNA guy.
Yeah, yeah,
and like I think they lost that.
Right. I think
but what I'll say, the reason that I'm between an S and an A is, and I don't know that it's necessarily, I don't know if it's necessarily because he wasn't an original, but like when I think of AJ Styles, that's not what I think of.
Okay. All right.
I don't think of Bullet Club AJ Styles. That's not like the first thought that comes to mind, where with some of these guys it is.
That's actually a very good point. All right, so let's give him an A. Comfortable enough putting him in an A tier. Listen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If it comes down to people that like use Bullet Club to break out as a superstar, he was already a superstar, and he could have come in as just AJ Styles, the phenomenal AJ Styles, and been an IWGP champion.
Oh yeah,
I think he it was the Gaijin way of being like a foreigner in Japan and saying like, all right, I'm gonna link up with these guys. I have chemistry with them. I get along with these guys. Let's have a good run. And but he could have been himself with or without them. So AJ's going to be on that A tier. The next guy is the first Japanese-born wrestler who joined Bullet Club. Another guy with 2 stints for some reason with Bullet Club. Yujiro Takahashi. Joined in May of 2014. Left in October 2018. Was back, so maybe he had like an injury or he went to another company for a brief spell. But he wrapped up with them in May of last year. Being the first native, though, that's an interesting thing. I would like to get your take on what Yujiro brings to the Bullet Club.
Okay, so this is, I love him in the ring.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess this was their attempt to kind of like make him by kind of putting him as the first Japanese guy,
right,
in the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
To differentiate himself. I mean, not that he really needed it. It's quite an eccentric character.
Yeah. Well, I think he became a more eccentric character, and that's really what they used him predominantly for, was just sort of mid-card comedy, multi-man tag team. He could take a pin, or he could, because he defected away from Chaos, and he was a regular tag team partner of Okada for a while. So I think that was the drama. Although he wasn't at Okada's level as a single, this was certainly the guy that was like, the first domino to fall if there was going to be a defection from the dyed-in-the-wool dojo guys that were young boys to main roster to main event guys. Yujiro was that guy, but I don't know. I just said, what would you give him?
C, maybe.
I think that's fair. That's fair. I don't want to bury him.
No. Yeah,
give him a C. We'll give him a C. Yeah.
All right.
He's always fun. Plus, he also had all those valets. He had the Tokyo Pimps side faction. So good. Yujiro's good. Also, I now remember like Carl Anderson and some of those like backstage skits. If the Bullet Club, like especially like right after AJ won the title, Yujiro turned on Okada like a month later, or right. I think he turned on him that allowed AJ to, get the victory on Okada. I think it was a press conference after, like, and Carl Anderson is cursing and drinking beer and carrying on in the press conference, and he says, "Yujiro, talk to him in Japanese. Tell him what we're." And that would be, that was the fun dynamic. So let's give Yujiro the C tier. A couple managers. Scott D'Amore, I'm not giving a grade to. He was there as a manager. I'm going to give a grade to Jeff Jarrett, though.
Okay.
Because I'll be honest with you. Because it's Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff Jarrett, he's a low-key faction guy.
Oh, the biggest. Kills them.
I'm giving Jeff Jarrett, he's the first guy that's in the F tier.
Yeah, there was no point of that at all.
F for faction killer. He rode in with AJ's coattails, and he was, I think, trying to jumpstart Global Force at the time that he made his appearance in Japan.
Okay.
And I think it was like any appearance he made with Bullet Club, he was just walking behind them with the guitar. Probably doing a guitar shot here and there, just like old times.
Yeah.
But I don't think he actually wrestled unless it was like a 10-man tag or something like that. I don't think he was really a certified member, but because it's Jeff Jarrett, let's give him an F tier.
Yeah, that was just unnecessary.
Yeah. Now we roll into the next recognized leader of Bullet Club is Kenny Omega. He joined November 2014. November 2014 until October 2018. He gets as much credit as the Bucks do, in my opinion, for especially with BTE and the creation of the Elite. About a year into his run when he went heavyweight, and it was the cleaner character sort of brought Kenny from that. Oh, he's highly skilled and he could probably punch his ticket to wrestle anywhere in the world, but he wants to be in Japan. He wants to learn a style. He did the indies, he did the freelance shit, and he did DDT, and he's fluent in the language. And that's another thing that I always give Kenny credit for is that, nobody on the American side of things, I don't think has ever spoken Japanese as fluently and as flawlessly. But when he's a heel, he starts his promo in Japanese and then he goes, you don't deserve to hear me in Japanese, native tongue. And he switched to English, and his English was so slow and so deliberate. Kenny is an S tier.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And when I was saying, like, this was the change of guard that I think was the most impactful.
Yeah.
Because going from Devitt, who was a big name in Japan, but I don't know worldwide, probably.
Sure. Yeah.
To AJ, who is a way bigger name.
Yeah.
The impact there isn't there as much as when you go from the big established champion to the guy who's going to be the next up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
and it's
S tier for sure.
I mean, that was also like it's a proving point because he signs the contract with New Japan. He joins as a cleaner. Unfortunately, he's in the mid card for still about a year before he gets the chance to step up to heavyweight. Steps up to heavyweight, turns on AJ, creates the Elite. But then he's the first American born that wins the G1. Shortly thereafter, he's an IWGP champion. He's their US champion. Like he set a lot of like high marks. And unfortunately, that might be what doomed this faction in the long run, is that you had a Kenny Omega that hit every high goal that you could want to hit. out of out of New Japan as a technically a foreigner, and here you are, like, is there any higher I can go? No, I have to leave the place that that made me, and after
And
that,
not only that, but when I think that the Bullet Club followed suit with the NWO. In when you have cool heels,
yeah,
and they always come out on top. What is their
yeah.
How are they even heels at that point?
Help us understand how these guys are.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that,
yeah.
and I think that it kind of runs its course if they're always on top,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no one chasing them. I mean, the people are constantly chasing them, but never overcome. It kind of dilutes it over the course of time because you just keep seeing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
And no one ever gets their comeuppance.
And you say to yourself, all right, well, who's booking this, and how is there not an alliance to face up against it? Everything in Japan, everything in New Japan especially, is based off of, other than Bullet Club, is based off of we're chasing titles, or we're looking to improve ourselves, and we're going to set goals, and we're going to go up, 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 up until we fail, and then how do we recover from that failure? So that's the theater of it. The problem is when you have the Bullet Club and it's very sports entertaining and it's very Western wrestling, then you have a situation, like you said, where it's a recurring storyline with dynamic personalities that are, if you're bleeding this over to an American audience, the American audience is certainly going to say, I like those guys. I understand those guys. I've seen those guys wrestle in my country more than the other guys. I go one of two ways with it. Either you're a very smart fan and you're like, now I got to learn what all of their opponents are like and what they can do. Or I go the other way and I'm like, I'm just going to root for the Bullet Club guys. Yeah. I just want them to come to my town. Mm-hmm. Fork in the road. Kenny's an S tier.
But he's up there as one of the best ever.
Okay. We're not ranking Amber O'Neal, who was married to Gallows and was basically a Bullet Club affiliate. Cody Hall, Scott Hall's son.
Now we get into the F tier.
That's a Nepo baby. He would probably be F tier.
That guy sucked.
Yeah. Chase Owens. Was in Bullet Club forever. He's another one that he hung out with Yujiro. He was in those multi-man tag team matches. I don't remember a single thing from a Chase Owens match. He's an F tier guy, and he
was around forever,
and he never elevated himself.
No, he never did anything cool. He always had like the worst dad bod.
Yeah, he may be like, if you look at it, like he may be the least cool guy in the coolest faction. He's not even Buff Bagwell bad.
No, he's like fucking Bryan Adams.
He's Michael Wall. He's Michael Wall Street.
Michael Wall Street. Yeah, dude. It's like, why are you here?
Yeah. King Haku is a member. Is a listed member of Bullet Club. Just to not fuck with him, I might just say like just honorary S tier, but.
He's like, he's Haku, so that's badass.
Yeah. A lot of his children were in Bullet Club, or his adopted children. So,
I don't know. I guess you could, like, he's middle of the pack.
I'll give He's an honorary. Let's give him an honorary C.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like, honestly, if you don't go and look through every member, you would never even remember that he was there.
I remember him just because he was on the show that they did in L.A.
Oh, okay.
He was involved in like the beatdown, and it was like, holy shit, Haku's here, and he's throwing dudes around.
Yeah.
His son, Tongaloa, joins in March 2016. Gorillas of Destiny. That's his calling card. Thoughts on Tongaloa?
Oh man, that guy stinks.
It could be worse. Remember that. It could be worse. And it might get worse soon.
Now, he was a part of a big team.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were champions.
Yeah.
So out of just based off that, I'll give him a D because he's better than Cody Hall and Chase Owens.
Okay. Yeah, he's not bottom of the barrel.
No, he's not the worst,
Mm-hmm.
but he's close.
Okay.
How do you rank him?
I would give him a C or a D. I would give him a C just because they were a very good tag team. He looked the part.
He did look the part.
His Thomas certainly is the one that draws your eye.
Yeah.
He very much has like a Haku feeling to him, except he's obviously not as tough and as graceful as Haku was, and as intimidating. But he does certainly like he's like a Temu version of Haku almost.
Yeah.
He's close, but he's just not there. But my big problem, and the thing I'll agree with you, we're going to bump him down to a D tier, is he may be one of the most clumsy.
Oh my God, dude.
Heavyweight wrestlers that I've ever seen. He was clumsy in NXT, and he never could figure out footwork because he was with Hunico on the main roster and on NXT, and I was like, God, this guy's like, he's getting there, and it's like you kind of feel like, okay, like if they do the right thing with this guy, or if he's a heavy or a heater, like we're seeing something here. We're playing up the Haku, ancestry, blah, blah, blah. And you thought like, all right, well, he goes to Bullet Club. He's going to be, with Tama, he's going to be in a cool guy faction. When they put the face paint on, they looked fucking spooky as shit. Gorillas of Destiny, the music's tremendous. Like that was presentation. Bell rings. Guy couldn't. Follow himself to
he has
the
to have
gallows.
his own episode of Botchamania at this point, right?
It's possible. It's possible. And I think he's still fucking things up on the main roster these days with with the rest of the slug slug bloodline.
His debut he fucked up.
I know. Yeah. Poor guy.
the
Poor guy finally worked his ass off to get back there, and
snake bitten.
Just he's D. Now we're getting into a couple back-to-back that are pretty much Ring of Honor centric, but had their times in New Japan proper as well. Adam Cole.
I'd give Adam Cole a B.
Give him a B. Okay.
I think that again, this is kind of where this is a circumstance of the shirt makes the guy more than the guy makes the shirt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I think him getting involved in Bullet Club is what got him to the next. And I do think that he could have probably done it on his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think that this kind of made him the personality that he is and then became moving forward.
Here's where I'm going to disagree with you. I think like his aura and his run as the ROH champion and the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla champion as that cocky male chauvinist look at me type heel and you were not rooting for Adam Cole other than the entry where he's doing the Adam Cole Bebe. You weren't really rooting for the second that he did that and you threw the streamers and you did it with him. Everything else after that, it was like, this guy is a piece of shit. He's rotten and I don't want to see him again. He joins Bullet Club Another guy just so fucking happy to be in Bullet Club. He's like a mini Carl Anderson, like loves Bullet Club so much. Can't wait to do 2 sweets to everybody. He made a turn, and the in-ring is not something that I'm not gonna take anything away, because in-ring, even up until this last brain injury that he's gotten, he's still the same excellent bell-to-bell worker. But I think when he was in Bullet Club, it was just played for too much cutesy. It was too much of the hand gestures and playing to the crowd. And he was one of the ones that was like, we're baby faces now, right? Like, or like, I love the attention that I'm getting for being like a tweener here. And it sort of just really like shut the door on him as a scumbag heel. And for a good 2 or 3 years there, he may have been one of the best scumbag heels in pro wrestling.
So can you remind me, when did he join? Because I may just be getting my timelines mixed up.
He's joined in May of 2016.
Okay, so that is late. That's later than I thought.
That's why I'm saying, like, he's very much like when Ring of Honor was hosting and having like the Bucks and Kenny on their cards a lot. This is when Adam Cole gets involved.
Yeah.
Because he can't work PW. I think for some reason he couldn't work PWG and New Japan at the same time, and he wanted to work New Japan a little bit. And he really didn't do it that much. It was the affiliation with Ring of Honor for a handful of stuff. So I'm bumping him to C.
Now that you say that, because I just have my timeline off.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of did nothing for them. Like it was just an American extension.
Yeah.
It was someone to have on the Ring of Honor cards to wear a Bullet Club shirt.
Right. Like, I'm not taking anything away from his enthusiasm.
No.
He looked the part. Smiled ear to ear every time that, like, and again, like another guy like Carl Anderson on the promo side of things just would throw certain things out there where it's like, all right, now we're popping the boys with this because he's got that charming charisma. But I liked my Adam Cole when he was a scumbag heel, a smarmy scumbag heel. So that kind of ruined it for me. Hangman Page. Wore the shirt, sold a lot of the shirts.
Yeah.
6-man tag. I think they were the never open weight 6-man champions, him and the Bucks for a little bit. Again, more Ring of Honor.
It's more Ring of Honor
than anything. I think he'd have to be in like the C or even the D tier. Because I don't think I think he, by extension, as a young guy in that group, got more exposure than he ever would have if
100%.
he stayed away from them.
Yeah.
Because this is what's interesting. What you were saying before, this is a period of time where they're siphoning off a lot of the heat from the baby faces in New Japan that just can't get one up on the Bullet Club. It started to be the case in Ring of Honor at that time too. Like, who's going up against these guys when they come in? It's like, all right, well, Jay Lethal. Well, Jay Lethal's been at this for 15 years, and Daniels and Kazarian, and it's like, I don't think they have enough to climb that mountain. And then Page wasn't established enough to be like if this was done nowadays, Page would be like, here I am, I'm saving our company. And you would believe it. So he learned a lot by being in that faction. And he came out on the right side of it. It's never going to be the most important thing in his career in the long run.
No, and I do think that as we're going along, you're kind of starting to notice a trend where it's like, if we don't know what to do with a guy, he's in the Bullet Club now.
I got a shirt for you. Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like as we come along, we're not going to get many high tier ranking guys
this is unfortunately this is where it starts to flatten out. So let's slot him in the D. Next guy's the same way. Cody Rhodes joins in December.
This is where I thought that it started to jump the shark.
Okay. Right.
You know what I mean? Because now it's like a forced. I always, and I think that this is part of the reason why I have such a disdain for him now. Is he feels like a WWE guy that forced his way into the indies and never really worked that style. He kind of always just worked the WWE style.
Oh yeah.
And it was just his name recognition is what got him where he was. The A being Dusty Rhodes' son, B being coming off of a few years of like high level WWE
upper mid card. Yeah.
He never fit in with the rest of them, to me personally. And it just felt forced. It felt like, all right, this is a guy. He's friends with the Bucks. He's friends with Kenny.
Yeah.
They're gonna vouch for him.
He's on the indies. He's going to be on their shows because he's smart enough to hitch his wagon to them.
And he's got more name recognition than most of the other guys in this faction.
Right.
So by default, he's going to become the head honcho. And to me, it all felt forced.
Yeah, it was a half-assed affiliation with the Bullet Club. He probably would have been a good guy to say, hey, I'm working these in, and I'll be on every show with you guys, but I'm your opponent. Or
yes, if he was the guy going up against them, it would have worked better.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, it would have. But I think I think the reason of why he wanted to go to the Indies and work in New Japan and work with Bullet Club was to probably eventually get to that point where it was like, all right, I'm gonna, they're gonna turn on me, and we're gonna make a ton of money doing this at some point somewhere else. I think it got, as you said, it jumped the shark in certain eyes when Cody got in, but there was still another 2 years where it was making money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And Ring of Honor being part of it, Ring of Honor was seeing like a renewed like upswing in business because you had high profile people that were now part of this, and you never would have expected to have a Cody Rhodes at his level come back to work in the independents or in these like, third tier companies, whatever you want to call Ring of Honor at that time. So you're just happy to have it, and you're happy to like collaborate with him to try to tell some of those stories. I think they ran out of runway.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time that they knew what they really wanted to do and they pivoted to say, this has gotten so big that we could just have this on its own island. Cody's probably already saying to them, all right, it's going to take us 3 years to build this. In that third year, you guys are turning on me, and we're going to have the big Bullet Club. So we're going to have the elite Civil War, whatever you wanted to call it, in our own company, AEW. So him going back to WWE put a cap on that, but that's still, I think, he's his father's son, and he's probably thinking more long term that if I'm getting my feet wet on the indies, I need to be associated with these guys. And it also makes me look super cool when I get to smoke cigars and promos and to curse and do things that I was never going to be allowed to do in WWE. So I have to go completely opposite of what my character was there. So I'm a bad guy Bullet Club member.
Exactly, because if you associate yourself with the best guys,
you're siphoning.
People will have the wool pulled over their eyes for a little while. Right? It'll eventually come to light. But there's that like honeymoon phase of like, holy shit, like can you believe Stardust is like smoking cigars with Kenny Omega or like what
Oh, this is kind of cool that he's there. Let's see how this actually let's see how this unfolds.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yep.
All right.
D.
I almost don't want to say this next guy's name, but it has to be mentioned because he's in this same godforsaken boat. Marty Scurll.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deserves to be forgotten. Marty Scurll.
Deserves to be forgotten. However, if you can separate the art from the artist,
okay,
I would say that he did have a very good run with Bullet Club. The villain character was an interesting and different thing. He kind of was like new blood in it. Okay, because
yeah.
So they're throwing a lot of guys who had pretty big notoriety on the indies into the Bullet Club. I feel like he was kind of in obscurity until this point.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Yes.
And I feel like this was something that elevated him.
Sure did. Yeah.
And had he not been a piece of shit, he probably would still be having a great run. But he's a garbage human being.
Yeah.
So if you could put aside all of that,
the way
how much, the person itself, and just look at it from the artistic realm of his time in that faction alone.
Yeah,
I would put him higher than most of the guys we've been talking about. I would say high C, low B.
Okay, all right. I can go with the C on this one. I was going to give him a D. You're right. They could have picked because they wanted to get somebody from technically the British Indies.
Yes.
My first round draft choice would have been, without question, Zack Sabre Jr. at that time because you needed a junior heavyweight that would have been a unique submission style asshole character, would have fit them perfectly. He just chose not to do that. Marty's in that next level down from Zack at that time. And he jumped in with both feet, and I'll give him that. Like, he really rose to the occasion. Good personality, good talker. I was never a fan of his in-ring. It was okay.
Yeah, I do think that he was a bit overrated.
He ended up being more overrated because I think he falls into the same boat as Adam Cole, where it's just like he's having a lot of fun being part of Bullet Club and doing the umbrella gimmick and whoop whoop and all that other shit. Like, that all came from him. And he's leading cheers, and he's a good interaction with the crowd, telling the story of the match, but everything goes to another guy. The break the finger spot and the chicken wing, and it's
being associated with that group of guys because he was gonna hang on to their coattails.
Yes,
and he'd probably be in AEW now.
Yeah,
had those things not come to light. You know what I mean? So that's another guy where you put yourself around these guys enough, people will look at you in a different light.
Yeah. Right. He deserves to get a C.
And I think that's why everyone kind of had him on a pedestal for a few years there, where they were like, oh, this guy's a great worker.
Yes.
Where he was good.
Yeah.
Good, but never great.
He was fun and unique. I think that's the thing that saves him from getting a failing grade. It's fun and unique. I mean, do we bury Hikuleo?
Oh, I mean, he's better than Tongaloa.
Is he? Is he though? He may be one of the weirdest looking humans. I mean, pro wrestling's got weird looking human beings. He's very weird looking.
14 feet tall and and 110 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. Shoosh. I'm giving him a D.
F. Yeah,
he's got a D.
Like it's very inconsequential.
Yeah, yeah. We've got Gino Gambino. I don't know. He's the guy that worked the New Zealand tag team matches.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Stephen Amell is probably the most famous non-wrestler that was a Bullet Club member.
He was in the Bullet Club?
Was for like the two indie dates. Like he did the original All In, and I think he did like
yeah. Okay.
Another like lead up to that, or like one of the one of the Battle in the Valley shows when they came to the U.S. He was associated with him. Taji Ishimori. He's an interesting guy because he joined in May of 2018, and he was there until the end. So he was still affiliated with Bullet Club up until the very end. Junior heavyweight. He was a spark for the New Japan side of Bullet Club when everybody was, let's get the most, Ring of Honor-y guys that we can, or the most U.S. working motherfuckers we're gonna put in this group. Taji Ishimori was, and he had that rivalry with Hiromu at that time, which was a great undercard rivalry for the junior heavyweight championship. Look cool. He was a tag team partner with Kenta for a bit. Ended up tag teaming with a lot of the guys when they were on the come up.
Yeah.
I'm giving him a B.
I could agree with that.
Yeah. I think highly of him. He was, and I forget, like, you don't realize this. I did do a little bit of research, and like he had been around for like 10 years.
Oh wow.
Before he was a Noah guy for a long time in their junior division.
I'm looking through his Wikipedia right now, and like started in Torimon, and made his way through pretty much all of the major Japanese promotions.
Yeah. And again, it's still out there. So that's a good B. He's a good B. The next phase of Bullet Club is that time period when the elite is gone, when they're just sort of like, they love getting a guy to have a surprise turn, to put on a Bullet Club shirt. So Gato and Jado joined Bullet Club at this point. They're the bookers of the goddamn company. And they're like, we want to be with the cool guys. I love me some Gato and Jado tag team mayhem. I seriously can't give either of these guys a grade. Honestly, maybe a D.
Yeah, I mean,
for Gato and Jado.
You write yourself into.
I know. Yeah.
Into the show.
Well, it's the whole, like, I think this is the storyline that was built around it was, will he or won't he? The Bullet Club needs a leader. Will it be Jay White? Will it not be Jay White? Gato's never going to turn on Okada. That's his student. That was his prize pupil. Trained him, brought him up, took care of him. Right-hand man in chaos. Leads to the next recognized leader of Bullet Club, Switchblade Jay White. October 2018. Had an affiliation with them up until the very end. Another guy that won the IWGP title.
This is where it officially jumped the shark for me.
You think? Okay.
I have never been a Jay White guy.
Not even now.
Nah, I could do with it. I mean, he's been missing from TV, and I haven't noticed.
Sure.
For like a year. So, yeah, I was never big on him before he joined the Bullet Club. And I think when he joined the Bullet Club, that's when I was just like, yeah, I'm done with this.
I'm tapping out. See, I give him, I didn't like him either at the beginning. I was like, he's bootleg Kenny. He's just trying to do the same kind of cool guy shtick, leader, finger gestures. You know, even if you do a slight variant on it, it's still the same They couldn't do the too sweet, so they did the low, and all of that stuff. But because he was a leader and because he was an IWGP champion, and I honestly came around to him in AEW. I like him with that doofus group. The Bang Bang Gang makes me some of the stuff they do makes me laugh, and it's like they still have that they have a little faction chemistry that nobody else in the company has.
Yeah.
And I think he's better than I had thought in the ring. Like, I've been impressed by some of his in-ring stuff. I'm going to give him an A. But what would you think? Maybe we can come up with an average.
Listen, I understand his importance especially at that time, when kind of everyone jumped ship.
Yeah.
They didn't really have anybody.
Yeah, the cupboard was bare, and
and so he by default had to do his best.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't go A, but I'll go B. I'll say B is fine, because I do recognize that he was given the fucking short end of the stick in this situation. So.
And he easily, he had been part of New Japan. He easily could have, slotted in with them, probably a year or two before he actually did it.
Yeah.
And you might have said, oh, okay, this guy's, he's finding his ground in New Japan, and he's part of their team, and he seems like he's fitting in. But you're right. He's sort of one of the, as it's starting to wither away, he was one of the last vestiges of it.
Yeah. I think at this time they probably should have started phasing it out,
sure,
and not had it continue until a few weeks ago.
True,
and that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of time.
So, Robbie Eagles is a name that's in here. He was part of Bullet Club for about a year. El Fantasmo.
Okay.
Actually, El Fantasmo's a pretty rad wrestler. A guy that
I do like him.
Rose from the juniors to a heavyweight. Kenta. Kenta should have been the leader of the Bullet Club, and probably should have said, "I'm kicking all of you dickheads out of here, and I'm taking this place over." But Kenta was there as a member of Bullet Club from August 2019 through January of 2025, and when he came back to New Japan, or he came to New Japan, I should say. It was a total surprise. He was put over strong coming in, and it was we've got a little bit of heat coming back to the company. I give him a B just because I got a sweet spot for Kenta.
Kenta. Yeah,
because he's rad, and he also represented Bullet Club in AEW as well.
Yeah, and I really wish that he was one of those guys that never went to WWE, because I think that they took what could have been some of his best years away from us.
Yeah, right. True. Are you fine with a B on him?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
I love Kenta.
I am not going to cover, because at some point then we start to throw in guys like Evil, Dick Togo. Yeah. They start the House of Torture, and they have a feud with Bullet Club in sort of this Civil War feud bullshit that I never really watched.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it. Dick Togo's awesome, but it's not worth it to sort of debate his Bullet Club membership. Chris Bay was a 2-company
wow.
Bullet Club guy.
Yeah. That's when they went
they were part of TNA, right? Yeah. I'll give Chris Bay a ton of credit. Again, another dude who got into Bullet Club, loved being Bullet Club, loved hand gestures, and he's legitimately on my radar because he benefited from being part of Bullet Club in the United States when all these guys had gone to AEW or to WWE, and here he is, like, and it's like, holy shit, they're doing, and I know Jay White was affiliated with it too, but they're doing a Bullet Club in TNA, and it's like, all right, let me keep my eye on this. And he benefited. The injury's terrible. He's a great dude. I'm giving him a courtesy grade of a B for Bay.
All right, I could do that.
He's a cool guy. Not going to grade Show. He's a House of Torture guy. One night only, Scott Norton was a member of Bullet Club.
S.
S. A few guys here. As we're getting to the end of this, there's two separate factions that are going to be left to talk about at the very end. The Bang Bang Gang, the rest of the Bullet Club Gold guys with Switchblade Jay White, which include Hard Rock Juice Robinson, the Guns, and Ace Austin. Juice Robinson, say what you will about that time that he spent as CJ Parker in WWE. They did not know what they had with this guy, and he blossomed away from their structure. And he was great in New Japan, either on his own or loosely affiliated with the other baby faces. And when he eventually decided to become Bullet Club, sort of like when he merged himself into AEW, like, again, another guy that just hangs the flag and looks so much more confident in his skin after even that, like, tail end of the run. I think I'm going to give Jay, or Juice, I should say, I'll give him a solid C.
Yeah.
For effort.
That's about right. I mean, you're literally, now we're into, and I do hearken back to the NWO with this. Now we're in like NWO 2000 or whatever the fuck it was.
Right.
Like the Bullet Club Gold, that you could have just given them another title. You didn't need to associate them with that. So they're doing the best they can. But it's just, it was like an unnecessary, but he is, I would say, of the most modern era of Bullet Club, he is probably the most memorable member aside from Jay White. Yeah.
I mean, Colton and Austin Gunn they could do whatever. They're just vanilla to me. Not very important. Ace Austin, I think, is going to be very good, but and he's another one I'll give credit. He did 3 companies as a Bullet Club guy. He was part of the TNA run, New Japan, and AEW. He's going to be very good in another couple years. He just has to better understand who he is and how he fits in. The War Dogs is the last faction within the Bullet Club, and they were the ones that ran it to the end. There's a bunch of guys, but David Finlay will go in as the last leader of the Bullet Club.
The worst.
Well, I think. I want to give him a B because I do think, and I want to give him an arrow pointing up because I do think that he's got a lot of potential to be a big deal. Probably within the next 2 years, 2-3 years, depending on what he decides to do. If he's like, my time in New Japan is going to be done, and I want to go to the States and see, WWE has already put it on the record that they're like, we would love to talk with this guy, and we want to, we want to do something with him. They love their international boys, and I think AEW would be the same way, where they're like, well, if he falls into our lap, we have to position him in some way, although they have a logjam of talent. But I do see him as he's still fairly young, right? He's like maybe scratching 30 at this point, which means he has a 25-year career ahead of him. Gabe Kidd's another one. Motherfucking Gabe Kidd.
I like him a lot.
He's a unique little monster. He's a throwback, in my opinion, to, and I might have said this either on the show or away from the show. He reminds me of Buzz Sawyer a lot.
I could see that.
A lot in the ring, a lot on the mic, where it's just you don't know, like he's got a very unique way of bumping. He's got a very unique way of going on offense and making it look as brutal as possible. And it doesn't have to look choreographed with him. It could just look physical.
Yeah.
And I think we need more physical guys like that can stand there in the middle of a match and just either freeze or do everything at the same time. And I think he tells a very wide story with what he can do. I'm putting him in the B as well.
I agree with that.
With an arrow pointing up. I think there's the two guys, the other two guys that were tacked on that were that I just wanted to highlight. Actually, there's three. Jake Lee seems to be a guy that New Japan has a lot of high hopes for. He was in the last G1.
Okay.
And I think he started that new faction, whatever, the unaffiliated brothers, or he went to the United Empire or something like that. I think he's going to be somebody that New Japan puts a lot of stock in the next few years. And Oscar and Yuto Ice are the Knockout Brothers.
I've heard that name. I haven't really seen them.
Yeah, they just won the IWGP tag belts. So they're going to be the next big, tag team on the scene. They're already, I think their contracts may be up and they haven't renewed. So they might be the type of team that's like, you see them on excursion and, they're all over your television in the next few years. So that's it. Like all those guys I would give C's to with the exception of David Finlay and Kidd. I think they're both lined up to be superstars.
I think so.
And everybody else can see what happens when they get away from Bullet Club. Did I miss anybody that you wanted to talk about?
No, not that I can think of.
You didn't want to get into a discussion about Caveman Ugg?
I don't know who that is.
He was on the Wikipedia page. He's listed as predominantly a member of House of Torture that works out of New Zealand. Caveman Ugg. That may be the funniest name that I saw on the Bullet Club list.
That's quite a name. That is quite a name.
Brandy Rhodes was also on that list, so I left her off just so F.
There you go. Fuck yourself.
So that's it. The impact that they have is, other than the NWO, DX, Horsemen. I mean, as far as like a faction that sold merchandise, I don't think anybody's going to take anything away from how much those guys, in the course of probably a solid 5 years, but you could extend that to 7. They kind of turn the world on its ear. They have their tentacles are stretched throughout every company. It's always funny. Like I remember, like even in 2016, like when AJ and the Good Brothers are coming over, and it's like, well, they're there. Devitt's in NXT. You have, these guys are in PWG. These guys are in Ring of Honor, and you're like, look at they're basically like they've done what the Click did in 1996, 97, and they were like, we're taking over the company by becoming free agents and going other places. And now it's like it's way bigger. And I think I think wrestling is better for letting this happen and going with the flow with these guys for their whole run. You're also correct in saying that there was a plateau and we jumped the shark, and we might have re-jumped the shark a couple of years after that. But it's still,
I mean, even when you can go into where WWE doesn't have the IP for it, but still throws together AJ and Doc and Gallows and calls them the Club and makes a shirt kind of similar to Bullet Club. And it's like, all right, like,
you know what you're doing.
yeah, like when it gets there, then you know the shark has been jumped.
Yeah.
But there's also the undeniability of it where it's like we have to reference this.
Yeah.
We have to do something with this because it's so big.
Well, and also because your audience, your online audience, your in-person audience, they were getting bombarded with put these guys together. Give us a shirt that we can buy. We'll buy your shirt that's got like...
Yeah, because there was a time where they were like turning people away if they had like Bullet Club shirts on.
They were handing them other free merchandise.
Yeah.
Which again is like, that's silly to me. Or telling them like, leave the building or turn your shirt inside out. And it's like, that's WWE mentality, but it's also, that's a testament to how over that was in such a short period of time. And like, I haven't even touched on the fact that like you've got comedians that were doing Two Sweets. You've got, you've got people that are talking about it on podcasts that are like, oh, I go to this show or I watch New Japan. Ron Funches was like, I went to New Japan in LA specifically to see Bullet Club and, and all these really great Japanese wrestlers and da-da-da. So, I mean, I think this is also like an important thing to tack on to maybe our last two episodes. We've been very Japan heavy.
Yes,
So we promise the listeners that we'll get back to the USS, back to the USA, back to the USSR, I almost said. Dream team of Russian wrestlers. But this will probably be the last Japan-centric episode for a while. But it's still an important time, and it really popped up between the last time we recorded and we were talking about the end of Tanahashi's career and, within the last 10 days where it's like, hey, guess what? They're not doing anything with Bullet Club anymore. So we had to throw our 2 cents in this one. So I feel good about it.
I think everyone can agree that, this was not a tragic demise. Mm-hmm. It was Old Yeller getting put down behind the woodshed.
That's right. Be happy that we had them, not that we lost them.
Correct.
Bonus question. Which company puts them back together first?
Probably TNA.
I was gonna say they're gonna be on WWE by the Royal Rumble. They'll bring back Gallows and Anderson to do Two Sweets with AJ, and Cody will get in there, and Devitt will get in there, and it'll be like, oh, pop the crowd. And they're like, well, the intellectual property left New Japan 60 days ago. We can snap it right up for the Royal Rumble. Haha, fools! It's not dead yet. And then Triple H would be like, look, I like how we always like to say that we have one up on the fans. Yeah, well, this is another thing we got one up on you guys. Too sweet, right?
Yeah. And then in classic WWE fashion, they will bury it.
Yeah, they'll all
immediately.
They'll all be on the first match of WrestleMania Night 1. No, they're not going to do that yet. But anyway, a good time was had by all. I do still have one of my original Bullet Club T-shirts that I still wear proudly. And it's not it wasn't the logo that you saw at Hot Topic and everything. I got this from Pro Wrestling Tees in early part of 2014. I think it was like one of the offshoot logos. So yeah, all about that. So. We'll wrap it up this way. Tom, Too Sweet Me. We're done with this one, and on behalf of my tag team partner Tommy Schultz, this is Mike Madden, and we hope you guys have a good night and we'll see you at the matches.